Welcome back, everybody, to Off Topic Thursday. We're going to go to the Reef.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be exciting. We're going to talk with the Queen.
Nope.
This one?
Nope.
This one?
Yep,
This one.
That one.
Okay.
That's the story mission. The other one is DLC.
Hooray! DLC.
Sorry, Bungie. I mean expansion.
DLC.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Regardless of what they want it to be, we will dictate what it is.
I mean, it's both. It's like an expansion size DLC maybe, but
yeah. All right, so for you,
Uh-huh.
what is the difference between DLC and expansion?
I think DLC is a broad category that can include expansions.
Where did all this come from?
While expansions, there's a Venn diagram here, right?
Yeah.
DLC is downloaded content.
Yes.
Expansions are not always DLC though.
Yeah.
Like say you went and you go pick up like a hard copy, it's not DLC, but it is an expansion.
Yeah, it's expanding the game.
Right.
Intruder bearing
Okay, for me, they're a little more separated.
Okay.
Where DLC is just downloadable content, but it's generally from one aspect of the game.
Okay. You want to go into that
From
more?
Earth.
Yes. Where
to
like
seek the
Call of
counsel of
Duty
the
does
Awoken.
DLC.
Right.
They give you map packs.
Right.
They do not expand the story.
Okay.
They don't really expand a lot of the things, except for, hey, here's new multiplayer map.
Okay.
And it wasn't until recently where it's like,
Looks
hey,
like we're in
now
the
you
right
get a
place.
multiplayer map and a zombie.
Ooh.
But they don't touch the story. You're not expanding the full game. You're just getting more content for something you already have. It's not really a new experience.
Okay.
Expansion to me is they're expanding every aspect of the game.
Okay.
Because every expansion that I've seen so far, like StarCraft, Brood War,
Right.
expanded the entire game.
Right.
And like with House of Wolves, you got new
These
you
are
got
the
new main story.
trespassers
Uh-huh.
demanding an
You got new
audience.
multiplayer.
Right.
You got new in-game.
Okay.
You got new social
The
space.
Queen
Sure.
herself judges
Like
who
it
may
expanded
or may
the
not
entire
enter the
game,
realm.
Yeah.
not just one aspect of the game.
Okay.
I see
So-
no reason she should
Sure.
be
No,
available
I can see that.
Yeah.
for whatever washes
Yeah.
up.
Whereas like Halo, that had DLC.
Yes.
So
Bungie,
here we are.
those were DLCs.
Come to
This
ask for help.
expansions, which could be qualified under downloadable content because everything's digital.
Right. You are in fact downloading the content.
Exactly. But I feel like DLC kind of has like a negative connotation for some people.
Sure. No, I can understand that because there have been plenty of things labeled as DLC that are just like
Not worth the money.
right. It's like really you want us to pay like
$5 for horse armor?
right. Like if
I am
it
a
had some
guardian
practical
from
effect,
Earth,
maybe, but it doesn't
We're
even
searching
do
for the
that.
Black
No.
Garden.
Well, it gave your horse armor.
No,
We
it
seek to destroy the
it didn't
darkness
actually
at its
provide
heart.
statistical benefits.
You
Like
want
there
to
were no
use
mechanics
battlegrounds.
to it. It was just aesthetics,
Yeah,
How
exactly.
unimaginative.
which is not like
Do you know
aesthetics
where
is
it
cool
is?
and all.
Everyone
Oh, no,
knows
like, I
where
would-
it is.
Like, I generally don't pay for aesthetics,
Right.
but for LoL and
Can
Destiny,
you help us?
I would pay for aesthetics.
Why?
Because there are some
would
skins
we
for characters where I'm
do
like,
that.
I want it.
Right. Yeah. Like League of Legends does a pretty good job of like, I know this is free, but how much? Let me think about this. I have probably dropped at least $50 on League of Legends on a
Wow.
free game.
See, and I would say like League of Legends as a base game is probably worth $40 to $50.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's a solid
Yeah.
experience.
So there's pretty much your cost of admission right there.
Right. Now the only thing is, if I continue to play it, I will probably
not?
spend
Keep
more.
spending $50.
Right. That's the thing.
We'll
Until
make
you
a
are no
king.
longer spending $50,
How's that?
you're now spending, $1,000.
Right. Like, I could drop a few hundred on this right now.
Exactly,
Why do
if
you
I
want
had a
Vex
job.
head?
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep.
We don't.
Yep.
Do we not have
My dog
eyes?
won't get one either.
Why would we? Yeah. Why would we need eyes?
But it's your only
Sorry.
hope of getting into
Sorry.
the Black
We're-
Garden.
We're a robot.
We will
We're also a
return.
unicorn.
Right.
die on
We're
Venus.
Unispace Rhino.
Exactly.
Either way.
Unispace Rhinos don't need eyes.
No.
They're magical creatures. We see them with magic.
I picture magic just looking like the Matrix.
Right. Yeah, no, I could see that. Okay, so are you familiar at all with Dwarf Fortress?
I am familiar with it, as in I saw it on the 360 store at one point
Okay.
and went, wow, that looks like Minecraft.
How much did you like see the description, or did you actually see what it looked like?
I saw a little bit of the description,
Okay.
and I saw the cover,
Okay.
and that was about it.
So the
Oh, okay. So that one.
right.
Yeah.
Should we?
We could. I mean, there's literally no difference other than the amount of experience points.
I mean, but it'll at least give us something reasonable to fight.
That's true. It'll give us some heroics.
Yeah, let's
that'd be
let's
fine.
try it. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're saying Dwarf Fortress?
Right. So Dwarf Fortress is all like ASCII graphics by default.
Yeah.
So, like, there's so much going on because the game is. So that's all you know about Dwarf Fortress, right? When you start up a game of Dwarf Fortress, before you do anything, it generates a world. So it's a procedurally generated world, but it simulates by default something like 1,000 years of history minimum.
That's cool.
So, like, you'll see this map. First, you see a world, and then you see it's populated with civilizations, and then you see their rise and fall, and like, then like 1,000 years later, you this way.
Yep, that one.
You know, you have an opportunity to go and start your fortress somewhere, and pick a like tile somewhere on the giant map of the world.
And that's where your fortress is.
Right. Well, and that's where your caravan arrives, and then you start to build a fortress.
Yeah. Alright, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. But, like,
Yeah, you're nowhere near.
part of the thing of that is there's so much depth. So, any person, you can go and you can click on them, right?
Yeah.
Or you can take a look at their stats and everything.
Yeah.
And when you do, you see their likes, their dislikes, a detailed description of what they look like fairly detailed.
Okay.
You see their history, what religion and culture they're from, if they worship anything at all, that is.
Okay.
Like, sometimes it can even be like, are they reformed of that religion? Are they like, you know, do they just worship like one thing in that? Do they worship like a whole pantheon?
Wow, that's insane.
And it just goes like on and on and on about like, and that's every single NPC that was generated in that entire history as well. Like every person of like countries, like kingdom-sized things that exist
yeah.
in that world you generated, each of them gets that full description and like generation.
That's insane.
And then every object, so you have somebody like craft a statue or something, or any object, you can go in and just like read the description of the object and oh, did I need to kill this?
Yes, you need to.
You can like read this description of the object and it can be like crazy things. And it's just like super in depth, but then when you actually like look at the game, it's all ASCII graphics. Like it's just little dots and dashes basically.
Exactly.
And so I know a number of people who have. I just died to a level 12.
Yeah, that's why you don't go run up on Cyclops.
Is that a Cyclops?
That's Cyclops.
Oh,
That's what it says. Cyclops.
it's dead now.
So that's one thing, since this is a public area,
Right, everything's like.
everyone stays the same.
Yeah.
And so everything is going to be low level, and, which I'm torn on how I feel about the
Let's
whole.
head for that research
a level
station.
12 can kill you just as easily as a level 30.
Right.
Because one, it makes everything, a viable threat,
Right.
but at the same time, you never really feel powerful.
Sure.
until you use your super. Then you feel amazing.
Right.
And then it's gone and like, oh, now I'm gonna die.
Right. Exactly.
Maybe the collective's research can tell us more.
Yeah. Yeah, but just to finish up what I was saying earlier, that's why a lot of people
Yeah.
I know who have played Dwarf Fortress
Yeah.
have ended up saying, like, you know, this is kind of like the, it's kind of like looking at the Matrix. The longer you look at it, and the more you start to understand the symbols, like, when you look at them, you're like, that's a person who has this long of a history, and they're this and that, and,
Yeah.
like, because, like, everything about the game can be super detailed. Like, damage allocation can be allocated down to individual digits on, like, an appendage.
Wow.
Like, the person's left forefinger was hit by the badger or something.
Wow. So like, so it could go as deep as L5R did
Right.
for damage.
Right.
The research station.
That's
It can be, like, crazy detailed.
that's really detailed.
and
like,
all of that is for every single thing in existence, basically.
Wow. Does Splattercat Gaming do a Let's Play of that one?
I don't know if Splattercat Gaming has done anything with Dwarf Fortress. I know another Let's Player I watch. His name is Quill18,
Okay.
who he occasionally live streams some stuff, and that's normally when he plays Dwarf Fortress.
Okay.
But I know he's done some Dwarf Fortress stuff.
Okay. I think that'd be one thing that'd be interesting to watch.
Right. Now, he uses a lot of mods and stuff on it, partially...
Yeah, PC.
Right, but partially just so it, like... It makes it much more appealing to look at.
Yeah.
Instead of...
ASCII graphics aren't the prettiest thing to look at,
Right.
especially when you're trying to, you know, entice viewers to stay longer.
Exactly, yeah, you want something visually appealing.
Yep. I mean, like, Ark looks really pretty,
Right.
but also really simplistic.
Right, exactly.
Also,
Uh-huh.
I was just looking at Ark things
Sure.
because I want Ark.
Right.
It's coming to the Xbox One, and
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, it is. And I was just scrolling through Ark things, and I was looking at Let's Plays, and then I was like, well, what Let's Players do I want to start, you know, following?
Sure.
Someone had a sniper rifle in their thumbnail.
Right. Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
sniper rifle.
Right, no, there's crazy advanced things. As much as we saw of it,
Yeah.
like, he's still doing low-level, primitive things.
I asked you about guns,
Uh-huh.
and you lied to me.
No, what did I say?
You said that gunpowder was a thing when I
Right.
asked you
Yeah,
about guns.
I did not lie and say that there were no guns. What I said was
You
gunpowder
You
exists.
conveniently left things out.
Right.
Technically, that's not a lie, but that's also not the truth. Your way of answering the question is not answering the question.
Nice
Well, that may be, but
around here.
did
So after a while, like
Let's see
if
if I
you
can get
take
it to
too
work.
long on a mission,
okay.
and it's like, all right, it's time to move on,
Uh-huh.
they'll just delete the enemies basically, and be
Oh.
like, all right, here's your objective.
Oh. All right then.
Yeah, which you know, like everything in Destiny, good and bad.
Right. Yeah, yeah. No, that's understandable. It happens.
That's how I feel about Destiny overall.
Sure.
Good and bad. Oh, heartbeats.
Ew.
Who are annoying little things.
Yeah, they're not too bad.
Well, They're-
They can be annoying for
they're
sure.
for me they get annoying because you know F5 like you can kind of ignore them half the time,
Right.
but the second you ignore them, for
That's
a
when
little
they
bit
hit you.
more than half the time. Then
Yeah.
there's 3 of them and they're all shooting you and they shoot fast.
Right. That is a good observation.
Yeah. So not my favorite thing, but I like. This is one reason Vex are my favorite. I like that they're based off mythology.
Yeah,
And
which is pretty cool.
And typical fantasy things.
Yeah. Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I like it.
I'm all for science fantasy.
Oh yeah.
Probably my favorite genre.
Yeah. I thought Cyberpunk was.
No, I'm super into cyberpunk.
Yeah.
But also my favorite cyberpunk thing isn't straight cyberpunk, it's cyberpunk fantasy.
You got an example?
Shadowrun.
That was quick.
Like, that's literally what Shadowrun is. It's...
Okay.
Guess what? We're in the age of cyberpunk. Also, magic reawakens. People are transformed into fantasy races,
Okay.
as well as, you know, all the things that, like, people talked about? Like,
Yeah.
like witch doctors, shamans, wizards, all that stuff.
All that fun stuff.
It's real, it's just it was dormant, and now it's back again.
Ah, okay. See, the only exposure to Shadowrun I have
Okay.
is I want to say it was a 360 game.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's not considered. That's like considered the black sheep of the Shadowrun games.
I'm not surprised by that because it was not very good.
Right.
But I thought it was interesting that it was one of the first shooter games to be like, alright, we're going to have 3 different factions that all have like supernatural, futuristic, and modernish.
Right.
All thrown in there. And it's like, hey, you can teleport. And you can also heal people with a magical tree. That's not your typical shooter thing.
Right. That's not your typical shooter thing. You're right.
So, I thought it was kind of cool, and it was one of the first like cross-platform play games.
Right. Which again, it did some cool things, but in regards to what like Shadowrun fans like about Shadowrun,
That wasn't it.
yeah, it's sort of it didn't capture what Shadowrun fans like about Shadowrun.
No. I think they were trying to attract people who didn't know what Shadowrun was
Right.
into this, and it just did not go well.
Yeah, I think that's probably true.
It's like, let's get new fans. Yeah, but you gotta make a good game before you can attract new fans.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually been playing Shadowrun Returns,
Ooh,
which
what's
is a
that?
PC game that came out a few years ago.
Okay.
But what it is it includes one basic story, but it includes all the tools you need for to be able to make your own stories, your own player-created content,
Oh, that's cool.
and environments and everything.
I like that.
So, yeah.
Anytime they give you the materials to make your own stuff, I appreciate that.
Right. So,
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, they make use a lot of the Steam Workshop, so...
Okay.
Like, I've already downloaded multiple different stories, and I've started to play through some of them with different characters, and I'm really enjoying it.
That's good. Like, being able to have multiple characters and multiple stories, and like people can just keep making more and more stories.
Yeah.
I think it'd also be a good test bed for like a D&D type story.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Since, you know, pretty much all sci-fi, fantasy stories can just be intertwined with each other.
Okay, so I'm not going to lie to you here.
Yeah.
As I've been planning out how to make a Star Wars campaign work, I've literally just decided I'm just going to copy. I'm just going to straight up plagiarize Shadowrun stuff for the Star Wars
See
campaign
if I can get it to work.
All
that I
right.
end up running, just because, like, I'm like, you know, they really captured the feel of like outsiders kind of.
Yeah.
So,
And that's what you kind of want with a Fringer game.
right.
Is Force and Destiny out yet?
I don't know. If anyone's wondering what Cody's talking about, is Fantasy Flight Games has a line of Star Wars RPGs,
They got a lot of books.
and their most recent product that they've been working on, like they've been working on multiple different Star Wars products,
Yeah.
but the new Star Wars RPG major project they've been working on is called Force and Destiny, and it's all about expanding, you know, like Force.
The Jedi. Because, alright, so what they had first was Edge of the Empire.
Okay.
And that was basically you're gonna play like the Han Solo type characters, the Outlaws, the Fringers. It was a whole RPG system based around characters they're not Jedi, they're not military, they're people just kind of like living on the edges of the galaxy,
Yeah.
which is what the first one was. And people were like, "This is awesome, we want more." And they also included like some light force things, but they didn't want it to be the main thing.
Right, like Force sensitives live out there, but they're not the center focus.
Exactly, and people were like, "Well, we want more," and they're like, "Okay, we'll give you more." So they made a military one,
Yeah.
where it was all about you could be like part of the Empire or you could be a part of the Rebellion. I was like, we're gonna give you a bunch of military stuff. And everyone's like, this is awesome, but you didn't give us Jedis. And they're like, yep, we sure didn't. And they've said it's like, it is so hard to balance the Force.
Right.
To make like a Force user and a Fringer like compatible with each other.
Right.
So that's all they've been really working on. And now Force and Destiny, they announced the beta a long time ago.
Uh-huh.
It's been out for a long time.
Yeah.
And that allows you to actually be different kinds of Jedi. Both good and bad. It relies on morality system and if you're a jerk or not. And so it's a really good system so far. But it's a paid beta for like $40.
Which can be pretty rough.
It's pretty rough for just a beta. And the full game's not out.
Ah.
And I just want to know if it was out yet or not.
I don't know if it is out or not. I haven't checked it in a while. I knew it was at the printers
Yes.
as of some time ago.
Yeah. As soon as I saw it was at the printers, I sent a picture to you saying it's at the printers. But that was months ago.
Right.
But I know they're getting it printed in China and then having it shipped and then shipped again.
Star systems in it.
So I have no idea where it is.
Right. It will be in America as of...
Gen Con?
You know, it will probably be there by Gen Con. Like,
When is Gen Con? Is it in April?
I don't actually know. Like,
Okay.
so I listen to a lot of podcasts, and a lot of them end up talking about Gen Con.
I know, they always do.
But I actually don't know when Gen Con is.
Nope. Okay, Gen Con 2015 taking place in Indianapolis, July 30th through August 2nd.
Okay, so it hasn't happened yet this year.
No.
Ah!
I thought Gen Con already happened.
Nope.
Nice work. There's got to be
Apparently
a
not.
terminal.
Fantasy Flight Games. When's Star Wars coming out? Because I want... Because like when we do finally do the Star Wars campaign,
Right.
who knows when that'll be,
Right.
or who it'll be with,
Yep.
or what's going on with that.
Yep.
You keep dying.
I know. Like, I thought I had the plan figured out this time.
Yep.
And then... Minotaurs.
All right. So 2 things.
Okay.
3 things.
Yep.
One,
Uh-huh.
you have a special weapon.
Right.
It's your friend.
Right. I should actually pick something that's good for
Void.
Void. Yep, because they do Void Shield things.
I may or may not.
I don't have anything super good for Void.
Nope. Also, you have a heavy weapon.
Right. So I was going to use my super. Like, I pulled out the golden gun,
That was going to be my other suggestion.
but I immediately, like, I died as I was in the animation.
Yeah. See, the one thing with Golden Gun
Yep.
is you never want to activate it when you're in the red.
Right.
Like, hunters, I will say, like, you do have to plan your engagements more.
Yeah.
Whereas Fist of Havoc and Nova Bomb, it's like, I need to kill everything now.
Right. It's like panic button, just destroy everything. I don't care what it is, just blow it up.
Yeah, exactly. Did you know Fantasy Flight Games was working on a samurai RPG also?
Oh, I didn't. No, wait a minute. I think I heard either rumors that they were going to, but I don't think I ever heard anything substantiated.
That's why they
Okay.
react so fast.
Force and Destiny is no longer at the printers.
Okay.
It is now on the boat.
Ooh, it's on the boat.
It
It's on
is
the
being
boat.
shipped. You can pre-order it now.
Uh-huh.
The Game Master's kit is also on the boat.
Nice.
And they have announced...
It's at Gen Con?
No. They have announced their first expansion book.
Well.
Force and Destiny keeping the peace.
Okay.
$60.
Alright.
Yeah. So that's that.
Yeah.
Alright, what's this samurai game? I like samurai games.
Right.
There's so very few of them,
True.
and samurais are so cool.
Yeah, the
like-
samurai are pretty awesome.
Seven Samurai is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
And L5R was a ton of fun once we got past that learning curve of what the heck are we doing.
Right. And there is a certain learning curve to all RPGs, but L5R definitely it uses
Big learning curve.
it's much different than
Any other...
particularly like D20 systems.
Yeah, because it's not a D20 system.
Yeah.
It is a D10 system where you can roll up to 10 D10s.
Right.
And it's ridiculous and awesome. But it turns out that Samurai game is not an RPG. It's a board game with feudal Japan.
Oh, okay.
And like each person gets like a little game master screen to hide all their stuff. And
Okay.
plan out their assaults and stuff.
That's cool. No, I like that. That sounds interesting.
It looks really cool. It looks pretty.
Yeah.
All the Fantasy Flight things look really high quality and really
Right.
good. Which is funny, like you don't expect that high quality from an independent game company.
Right. But they've done a really good job with what they've been given like access to,
Oh yeah, like
Like-
they're taking full advantage of everything they have.
and all the licenses that they've been able to get. Like they've done good stewards of that.
Yeah.
So like people are happy with what they produced. And-
Exactly. I mean, like getting a Star Wars license,
Right.
like after Wizards of the Coast,
Yeah.
that's a huge thing.
It is a huge thing.
I think it's time for bigger weapons.
Oh,
That's one.
we got a bounty.
There's another one. It's coming for you.
Yeah, but this one isn't a yellow.
No, that's true. Non-yellows are easy.
Yeah.
Majors.
Woo! Is that what they're called?
Uh,
I know there's like majors and elites
yes, there are majors
or
and
ultras.
I think something along those lines. I think captains are the majors.
Okay.
I think captains are the unnamed ones and majors are the named ones.
Okay.
So if you ever fight a minotaur with a name,
Sure.
that's a major. Most of them not really. Like they're very
No, don't hit me. Save me, please.
like divisive mind, I believe is a major.
Is that this guy?
No,
Nope.
that's just a vex magic. Golden? Not golden. Here's one. Oh,
I did it. I don't think it's gonna kill him in one shot. Yep.
wow.
Perfect.
Wow, 3 shots.
Right. Yeah. Golden gun sucks in PvE.
Yeah, it does.
Right. Like it just doesn't do good.
No, it really doesn't.
I know how to find the Gate Lord. Each vex
And that's
is part of
kinda
a
sad,
giant
which is why they have the
network that spreads
Celestial
through the
Nighthawk.
mantle of the entire
Right.
planet.
Which helps.
If I can
A little
just
bit.
get into
Right.
their system,
I haven't
we can
ever
draw
seen
the
it
Gate Lord
used.
out.
Sure.
I know. All I know is that it takes 3 shots, turns it into 1, and gives you 6 times the power,
Right.
which I feel could kill a lot of things.
Right.
Or one big thing.
Yeah.
It also overpenetrates.
Which is really useful.
Exactly. So it could be super useful.
Right.
It could not be useful.
Right.
We don't know.
Exactly.
Maybe we'll get it someday.
Someday, maybe.
Probably not on PlayStation.
Well, maybe.
I doubt it.
No? Okay.
Now, well, for one,
Uh-huh.
my PlayStation Plus is running out.
Right. But I have it, and that works, right?
Oh yeah. Like
Yeah.
if we just load up your profile onto this, then we'll have it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh well, then
Yeah.
never mind.
Yeah.
Side quest time.
Side quest.
Oh, I hate this one.
I think I'm gonna put this one on 26. Just in case.
Just in case it doesn't go all according to plan.
This way it'll be kind of like they're a challenge, but not actually.
Nope. I mean, what's the worst that can happen?
Right.
Although I don't
We
think
just got
I don't
on a secure channel from the
I don't know how much of a damage
The
boost you
Ishtar
get
Collective
for
gathered
over
some of
leveling
the
something.
greatest minds of
I don't know.
I know the
their
damage reduction
archive
for
is a
being
treasure
under
of
leveled,
knowledge that
Okay.
cannot
but
be
not
lost to the
over
fallen.
leveled.
Is there a
Secure the
damage?
archive.
Boost?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Be in your
Just watch. There's literally no difference between the 26 and the 30s at this point,
Yeah, I
and
don't-
I'm just
I
making
don't know.
myself feel better.
You could just be making yourself feel better.
That may be the
I mean,
case.
that alone could
Buried under the
increase your
rubble of
playing
the
ability.
academy. It
Right.
won't take
Yeah,
long
exactly.
to strip it like the rest
If
of the
I
planet.
think I'll do
Better find
better,
it before they get
Then you
inside.
do better.
yay!
Because your thoughts change your behavior.
Yay!
You got this. Kill all the things.
Yay!
You ready to stay in one room as waves of enemies come at you?
Is that what this one is?
That's what all of them are.
I know. I was just maybe.
Here is the Destiny mission structure.
Uh-huh.
Go to a place.
Yep.
Put your dinkle in it.
Okay.
Defend it.
Okay.
That is Destiny's mission structure. I have not seen many different mission structures yet.
That is a good observation.
Yeah. So I'm hoping
Uh-huh.
in Taken King they kind of experiment a little bit more with different types of missions.
Right.
Although granted, when you think about like shooter missions overall,
Right.
it's get to a place and shoot everything as you go.
Yeah.
Get to a place and defend the place.
Uh-huh.
Or they have the place, you want the place.
Right. Or the odd escort mission. Not that people really enjoy that.
Those
but-
are not missions. That is being forced to babysit your little brother and not getting paid for it. Nope. There you go.
Yay!
Killed by a level 12 captain.
That would be embarrassing.
Yeah, it sure would.
But everything's fine.
Yep, and everything would be par for the course.
Yay!
Ooh, the Hall of Whispers. Whisper, 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 whisper.
Great. The Fallen have already
Kill
set up
all
shop
the
here.
things.
Oh, okay, that's pretty
So they have
significant.
gotten into the
I can
archive.
one-shot these shanks.
Oh, you couldn't before?
Right.
Okay.
So that's...
So there is either. So there's two theories that I have.
Okay.
Either you do more damage.
Yep.
Which I can check when I edit these.
Sure.
Or they just have less health.
Right.
I have a feeling it's a less health one,
Right, I would believe that.
but I'm not gonna know until I.
Actually double check it.
Yeah, I'll check it while editing.
Okay.
Probably tomorrow.
Cool.
I still have to edit Friday's video.
Yay!
Yay! Which is a 3-hour video.
Yay!
I cannot find all the episodes we had with Josh.
Huh. That is weird.
That is super weird. Like that we had Skip Penny,
Right.
but I can't find him. So it's just gonna be like. I would get away from the exploding thing.
Was there an exploding thing?
There was an exploding thing.
Okay, thank you for letting me know.
So gonna be one big old gone home episode.
All right then.
Yeah, get those meters, ultras,
Whatever.
captains. Whatever.
Yellows.
Yep, kill the yellows.
See, these guys are red, so they're red shirts, right?
Yeah, those are the red shirts.
Right, they die easy.
Yep.
The yellow ones, though, they're like the officers,
Yeah.
so they don't die as easy.
Nope.
'Cause-
And then you have named yellows,
Right,
which are like super officers.
right, exactly. They're the ones who are like, oh, this is part of the reoccurring cast.
Exactly. They're the ones where this is a special episode because they're gonna die and everyone at home is gonna be sad that you're the villain of their TV show.
Which is an interesting angle for a game.
It really would be. I would find that to be really interesting for you to play the villain.
Right,
Like, and actually believing you're the hero,
right.
but it turns out you're not the hero.
Yeah,
They were serious.
Not like KOTOR did.
okay.
On how you were... Spoilers for a umpteen-year-old game.
Right.
How you were actually Darth
Revan.
Revan,
Yep.
but like the entire time you're actually doing good things. You were the bad guy.
That's not necessarily true.
Really?
That's if you play the light side version.
Well, that's what I always do.
Right. Well, if you played like a more like a gray Jedi or like a dark Jedi,
Yep.
Unbelievable.
then it's like,
The
well,
archives
we tried to
are
break
still
you of this
partially
and it
active.
didn't work.
No. And now, then you play the light side, and it's like, you have done good.
Welcome.
Can't make the people
Please enter
happy
your
because the
security clearance
stupid...
code.
Oh, I hate her.
Dr. Shit. Never mind that.
You're thinking of KOTOR 2.
Yes.
This place is
The
amazing.
one thing
It's
reminded
bigger
me
than
of
the
the other
archives
thing.
in
Right.
Old
Okay.
Switching topics.
Right. Yes.
Off topic Thursday.
Okay. Title drop.
Exactly. Of KOTOR 2, I don't even remember her name because I hated her so much.
It was Kreia,
She was stupid.
I believe.
Thank you, Dr. Shea.
And she
Shall
can
I
go die in
begin
a hole.
correlation of those
She eventually
molecular
did
cells?
die.
Right.
Again, spoilers for an umpteen-year-old game.
Right.
When you kill her in the face.
Dr. Shin,
Yep.
security breach detected.
Because it's like
Intruders.
nothing you do
Initiate-
will please this woman.
I think that's one ending.
It's the one I got. Like, I want to kill her.
I'm pretty sure the option is you can allow her to, like, go through with it
Yeah.
and then
can.
destroy the universe.
You can. I didn't.
Okay.
Because one, I think destroying the universe is a bad thing.
Right.
And-
There's certain problems associated with that.
Exactly. However, I would have gained dark side points. Like, for me personally, because I was doing a good thing by
Right.
stopping the destruction of the universe.
Right.
But I was doing it for an internally bad reason of I wanted her dead really badly.
Right. One thing you can think about light side and dark side, at least one way how I contextualize it,
Yep.
is, you know how like in L5R there's honor,
Yes.
which is not dependent on necessarily what anyone else thinks.
Yeah.
It's like, how well do you closely follow the code of Bushido?
Yes.
And that's sort of how I imagine, like, the light side and dark side is. There's certain, in the world of Star Wars, there's certain moral things that are definitively light and dark.
Yeah.
And how closely you adhere to those, like, both internally and externally, is, like, you know, that is your representation of light side or dark side.
Okay. I look at it a little differently.
Okay.
Because for me, on how that works,
Sure.
is that's more of that, like, lawful or chaotic.
Okay.
On how, like, both the light side and dark side have a code
Okay.
of what they follow.
Sure.
And the way I interpret how you interpret it
Okay.
is as long as you're following that code, it'd
Uh-huh.
be the light side. But since the dark side has their own
Oh,
code
no,
and
no,
compass,
that's not what I mean.
I know. That
Okay.
may not what you mean. That's how I interpreted it.
Sure, sure.
So for me, dark side and light side is it's not so much of what you're doing, except for killing younglings. That is never good.
Right.
You don't kill the younglings, Anakin.
Right.
It's more like what, not only what you're doing, but why you're doing it internally,
Mm.
and like what is feeding that drive to do it.
Remote
see.
hub failure. Routing disrupted.
So it's like, all right,
Must have a servitor feed him
you're
up the
killing Dark Jedi. You know, as long as they attacked you first, that's fine. But if you're killing them because you're angry
Uh-huh.
and you were just like, all right, to be the code, like you can't work the code of I was angry and killed them. However, they attacked me first.
Right, but what if literally every one of them was a Hitler? Like, you knew in the future every one of them was going to become Hitler.
That's Minority Report stuff. And that's getting into a weirder thing.
Right, but in your, like, from, like, internally, you know that you need to do this to save more lives. Is it still...
That's slightly different because then it also goes into the internal of like, all right, are you killing them not because you want to, but because you have to?
Okay,
Or are you killing them out of anger
sure.
and you want to?
Okay,
Are you giving in to what you really like, what anger wants you to do?
okay.
Or are you doing it because it's the right thing to do? And also, like, just because you know the future and they may become Hitler,
Okay.
or you know they'll become Hitler, they still haven't done it, and you can't really charge someone with something they haven't done.
Right.
But then you have, you know, conspiracy to commit murder. That's a crime.
Right. What if they already were planning at that point?
Oh, if they were straight up planning to murder
Like
all the people?
Like if there's this little like child, and he says like, my plan, like, here's what I think we should do. Now follow me on this. And this is like a 12-year-old, right?
Yeah.
And this 12-year-old's like, I think we should kill all of the Bothans. Because Bothans are hairy, smelly, and they're conniving. And the galaxy will be better if we just kill all the Bothans.
Kill all the Bothans. That would be wrong, little one. And you're only 12 for right now. we're gonna send you to a place to get those thoughts out of your head.
Okay.
Not gonna kill you.
All right.
Because you haven't done anything. You just, you have a plan in your head.
So part of the reason why I ask these questions is because
For Star Wars games.
well, there's actually a Star Wars comic that deals with this.
That's really cool.
The Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic comic isn't about the game, it's about the events prior to it.
See, I would really like...
And not even necessarily connected, just in the world.
Yeah, and I really appreciate that because for me, Knights of the Old Republic is just the game.
Right.
It's that whole 20,000 years before all the stuff in the movie.
It's actually 5,000.
But really, I thought it was 20.
Nope.
Oh,
It's like 4,000 maybe. 4 or 5,000.
where am I getting 20,000 from?
20,000 might have been when the super ancient empire, even at that time, was around.
Yeah.
That could have been a thing.
Oh, I remember why.
Okay.
Because the Yoda analog of the game talks about things that happen 20,000 years.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's stuff that happens in the game.
Yeah, he talks about you kind of explore things that are 20,000 years old.
Right.
But not the game takes place that long ago.
Right. Yeah.
Well then, fine.
Right.
Slightly less epic in my mind now.
I mean, it's still pretty cool.
Oh no, it's still super cool. Like the Old Republic is probably one of my favorite Star Wars settings,
Yeah.
and I would like them to explore more.
Yeah.
Which is like I'm kind of disappointed in the new books.
Oh yeah.
Well, they keep going back to the same planets and areas we know of and we've seen dozens of times over.
That's probably gonna be a thing. Like, so part of what makes the expanded universe, or what made the expanded universe so good, despite all of its problems, was that, like, they had a tier of canon.
Yeah.
Like, you could have things that are like, alright, this isn't canon, but we're still gonna be able to, like, explore it, and it still be a, like, technically official product.
Yeah.
Just, hey, you can know this isn't canon.
Yeah.
And that was, like, super awesome, because that allowed them to explore all sorts of different things. And then some of that, they were like, this is super awesome, the Imperial planet should be named Coruscant, we're gonna throw that in the next movie.
Okay. And see, well now what they've done is everything is canon.
Well, yes and no.
I'm going with what they have officially released.
Okay.
Whereas
Let's get back
they've
to the
said
archive.
that all the things will be canon, and they're gonna have like, all right, all extended universe that's gone.
Right.
We're resetting.
Yeah.
We're doing what DC should have done, hard reboot,
Okay.
except for the movies
Right.
and Clone Wars.
This
And
archive
Rebels.
is amazing.
Right.
Rebels is
Pathways
awesome.
to other galaxies, mappings of Vex's
And we're
underworld,
just gonna hard
a place
reboot
they
it.
called the Vault
New
of
books, new things.
Hopefully the Cryptarch
Here you
can
go.
make sense of it.
Right.
I'll let him know we found it.
And the only reason, like, I know what they're doing, and it's just like it's the not the guide to Force Awakens, but the lead up to Force Awakens.
Right.
So everything's gonna center around the planets we've been to.
Yeah.
I would just like them to start branching out.
I get that, but my guess is that they won't. Like,
No.
I honestly don't think... I think they'll basically use the movies or the books as exclusively as things to lead up to and to fill out things strictly in the movies. And they're not going to explore things that don't have to do with the movies.
I know.
Like, nothing from the Knights of the Old Republic will... It's basically not considered canon, so none of that's going to matter.
No.
And they'll come up with their own entire history for that, if
I
they
know.
want to include any of that at all.
I know. It disappoints me, but it's what they're gonna do.
Right.
Which makes me sad.
Yep.
So we'll end this episode on a sad note
Sad.
of the Star Wars canon.
I'm more on you, expanded universe. I'm
Yeah.
more on you.
Yeah. Alright, Disney. Just be more adventurous.
Yeah, go for it.
Do it.
Yeah.
Just don't go as crazy as before. Reel
Right.
it in some, but explore.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time, Explore Peoples.
Hi.